I'm about to show you the entire system I implemented for my agency to scale my new offer to 25k cash collected. So first things first, why should you even listen to me? I've been running my agency for over 2 years now, and I've worked both in the e-commerce space and the local service business space with 25 plus clients and invested a total of $30,000 into coaching, mentorships, and other programs. So in today's video, I just want to pack everything that I've learned through my journey and showcase you this system. So if you're currently running an agency or a coaching business and you're stuck at doing 10k per month and you're looking to scale past that to 25, 30k, 40, 50k, 100k per month, but you're currently struggling to do that because you can't generate appointments on autopilot, you're stuck working inside your business. And what I mean by that is you have a couple of clients under your belt, but you spend most of your time serving them and you just become a high-level employee. And if you're struggling to close at least 40% close rate, then this video will be super valuable to you. I was on the same boat. I found it so hard to scale past 10k per month. And then I went into a new industry with a new offer, and I was able to scale that to 25k cash collected. When I first started my agency, I began getting appointments through my cold email systems. But over time that stopped working and I wasn't able to book meetings on autopilot and on a consistent basis. I was investing into coaching, I was investing into mentorship programs. Nothing really worked. After being so burnt out with trying every system out there, with hiring several coaches, going into several programs, I took a step back and I had an epiphany. I went onto the whiteboard and I basically mapped out my whole agency, and I spent my time looking at that whiteboard trying to figure out where I'm going wrong. And that's when it hit me. I basically rebuilt every single aspect of it. I was able to scale my new offer to 25k per month and had my Calendly looking like this. I then took these systems and I've also implemented them into one of my close friends' agency as well, and he was able to scale to 17k per month with his new offer. His calendar currently looks like this, and he's able to close 1 to 2 clients every single week. So this is the entire system that I took my new offer in my agency, and it consists of 4 different parts: the foundations, the traffic, the sales, and the service delivery. So to first start off with, we have the foundations of everything. If you are unable to properly set these things up when you first start out, then the rest of your systems will never be able to work as well as they could be. So what I first did is start off with deep market research, and I was able to truly understand the audience I'm going after. I remember I interviewed around 15 to 20 different people in the industry and basically learning all I can about them. I've understood their pain points, their dream outcomes, what it is they truly want, what vehicles they've tried in the past to achieve their dream outcome, and the problems with that vehicle that they've tried before. What I did then is come up with a resonating offer. We can then move on to traffic. Now, traffic is basically putting your offer out to your audience and letting them see it and react to the stimuli. Start off with cold emails and cold calling. Now, the reason cold emails are so good is because they don't require a huge investment upfront in order to start validating your offer to the market. I've had all my sending domains linked to a VSL funnel that I specifically filmed, speaking in a language of my market, identifying their pain points and their dream outcomes, basically pre-selling them onto booking an appointment with me. So I had one campaign for one offer, and I would send out the offer to 300 to 500 people each. And I was basically trying to validate that offer and validate my message stimuli and go within these KPIs and track these metrics, which are my appointment booking rate and my positive response rate. Now, based on this, my KPIs were a 1% to a 1.5% appointment booking rate and an 8 to 10% positive response rate. So after my campaigns were finished, I would then go back and look at my metrics and see if any of them were within my KPI. If not, I would go back to the first step, which are my foundations, and basically redo the whole thing. And then after I redid it, I would go back and try validating again until I was within my KPIs. Once I had a campaign that was booking me appointments at a 1%, I would then scale that up to sending it to 5,000 people instead of 300 or 500 people per campaign. I would get 50 calls booked every single month. Once I had my cold emails running, I would also do some cold calling. And for any of you that know of cold calling, it's probably the best way to get real-time offer validation. Or it's basically if you're on the phone with a prospect and you tell them about your offer and you see how they react or resonate with that, you'll be able to get quick feedback on whether your message, your stimuli, or your offer is truly resonating with your market. And these two kind of go hand in hand, because if I have something that resonates here, I could then take this and put it into my cold calling script. Or if I had something that resonates with my cold calling, then I'll take that back and test it within my cold email campaigns. Now, the biggest problem with cold calling is that a lot of people might not show up. And the way I combated this is by filming a whole separate VSL on selling the appointment itself. And the way I'll test is basically each script, I would make sure that I've had 100 calls and see whether I was within my 2% appointment booking rate. And then once I was able to be within my KPIs, I would scale the volume by basically hiring more commission-based callers and giving them my proven systems and training. Now, these two systems go in hand, because whilst your cold emails are running, and this is where you really have the volume, you're also doing cold calling where you still have the volume, but you're able to get that real-time offer validation, which you can then feed back to your cold email campaigns. Now, these were booking me in sales calls, and on sales calls, I'll basically focus on finding more pain points, truly understanding the market and truly understanding the language that they speak in. This would go on to developing my paid advertising system, where I was able to scale even further. Now, just because I took the time to research my market, I then tested the offer and I validated the offer and the message, and I spoke to them on the sales calls that I was able to book through my outreach methods here. I knew how to create proven ad copies, proven offers, proven ad creatives for my paid advertising system. And I was able to get anywhere from 50 to 100 calls per qualified book call. And the difference between these calls is that they're a lot easier to close. So my close rate was around 45% on these type of calls. And then over time, all of this started working as an ecosystem for my agency. So to really envision this, let's say you're booking appointments through these two methods here. You've closed maybe 2 to 3 clients. You invested that into your paid advertising system. You are basically able to resonate with your market, and you have proven ad copies and ad creatives because you've done the homework here. You then close clients way easier through these appointments here, and then you would take the money from these clients and you reinvest back into your paid advertising system. And all of this kind of becomes a cycle that goes round and round until you are only running paid ads at a very high budget on a monthly basis. This is the secret to truly being able to scale your agency. Now, what did I do for my sales? Now, for cold appointments, I would have automations and reminders. I would have appointment setters to double confirm the appointment to make sure that they show up, and then I would close them. For warm appointments, meaning my paid advertising appointments, I would also have automations and reminders. I would have a proven thank you page that I developed to basically resell them the meeting. I would have appointment setters confirming the meeting to make sure that they show up, and then I would close them. Now, for service delivery, this was pretty tricky at the start, but once I was able to figure this out, it was pretty easy because I had a copy and paste system that I was able to input into my client's business, and I knew that they will be able to get X amount of results from it. Now, this was pretty powerful because I would have one client doing very well, and then I would have a new client, and I'll basically use my copy-paste service delivery system for that new client. So the system is pretty simple. I would get a new client, I would use my copy and paste onboarding system. It would take me 7 days to launch them. I wouldn't rely on them on any content. I would have my own way of making AI type content. I would then scale them up, and all of this would basically take me 4 hours a week to manage. And then in terms of communication and support, believe it or not, I had no weekly meetings with my clients. I'd probably have one meeting every single month just to catch up and everything. But in terms of communication support, I had a system dialed in to make sure that they stick around for the longer term. So this is the entire system that I used in order to scale my new offer in a new industry with my agency to 25K cash collected. And this was also how one of my close friends was able to scale his agency with a new offer to 17K per month. He is able to close 1 to 2 clients every single week. So this system can be implemented for your agency or coaching business for you to start getting 8 to 10 calls on a weekly basis as well. So if you want a more in-depth approach about this system here, then make sure to schedule in a one-on-one free consultation call with us. And on the call, we will basically break down the step-by-step process of the system and how you will be able to implement it into your business for you to then scale past 10K per month. And yeah, I hope this video was valuable and gave you the same epiphany I had some time ago with my agency. And if you want weekly insights of how I run my own agency internally, then go ahead and make sure to click the link in the description to subscribe to the weekly newsletter.